What's up, everybody? This is Jake Martin, and today I'll be doing a DVD review on this Thomas and Friends movie, which is now Thomas's third movie and his second special, and plus this is the final Thomas and Friends movie to be in the model series form, and plus it's the only Thomas and Friends DVD to have Pierce Brosnan as the narrator, and plus this is the first Thomas and Friends release to be distributed by Lionsgate, and that is none other than The Great Discovery. So yeah, let's get started, and I hope you guys like it. So basically, here's what the front of the release looks like. The history on The Great Discovery. It came out on, excuse me, it came out on DVD on September 9th, 2008. Wow, it came out around the time The Best of Barney came out on DVD, and the hit favorites release Halloween Spooktacular. And the DVD version you could get it in either just a plain DVD, or you could get it with a CD with the same songs that were on this movie. Excuse me. And the DVD version you could find it either alone or in the 3 DVD set called Discovery on the Rails, with Thomas and the Really Brave Engines and Come Ride the Rails. And then it was in the movie pack with Calling All Engines and Hero of the Rails. And yeah, that was it. So yeah, let's get started, and I hope you... So yeah, that's all the history, and now let's get into the actual review. So basically, here's what the front of the DVD looks like. It's in a slipcover, of course, and you got some spinning map compass on the left and the right, the top corners, because you know what a compass looks like. Thomas and Friends logo, The Great Discovery, the movie, which is gold, of course, and you got the compass spinner on the letter O in Discovery, and you got Thomas, his model, the model series Thomas, with branches and trees, of course, and you got a sticker saying all new movie guest starring Pierce Brosnan as the narrator. Anyways, and on the bottom, one on the left, you got a picture of Thomas looking scared after he reverses back to his safety track after the old bridge collapses, and another one on the right is at the end of the movie. Yeah, this one's from the beginning and this one's at the end. You know, with him, Stanley and Percy celebrating the opening of Great Waterton. You can tell it says "Welcome to Great Waterton." That's what the banner said. Anyways, a roller coaster ride of a movie says Sir Topham Hatt, controller of the railway. Anyways, here's the front. Here's the sides of the slipcover with the oval portrait of Thomas from the front. Yep, this is the first Thomas and Friends release to be distributed by Lionsgate, since it was originally going to be distributed by 20th Century Fox, but Lionsgate obviously took over. So anyways, same logos again. Your barcode. Anyways, here's the back. Same logos again. Barcode peeping out from the slipcover. Sorry about that, y'all. Anyways, it says a heartwarming new adventure about friendship and cooperation, says Neil Migno, the movie mom. Anyways, your blurb about what's on the movie, and you got two thumbnails. One with Thomas when he was when he when he um yeah, when he rolls up the yeah, one with one when Thomas rolls off the track. Yeah. Yeah, when he rolls off the tracks, and so are his loads. And another one with some of the engines all sad, minus James, Henry, and Gordon, after the half-finished Tower of Great Washington had crashed, like, after the accident happened. But for some reason, why is there CGI balloons? Like, should they just remove them? Because we don't see them in the actual movie. Yeah, those CGI balloons, they need to remove them immediately, because that thumbnail with CGI balloons does not make any sense. Anyways, and you got a picture of Thomas and the new engine. Welcome, Stanley. Anyways, and your special features are Thomas, you're the leader, music and karaoke. The version from this one, Learn with Thomas, and behind the scenes with Pierce Brosnan. Which, yes, it shows him narrating season 12 episodes. Which, it would have been better if Pierce Brosnan would have narrated season 12. And then yeah, it would have been better if he would have narrated seasons 12 and 13. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, link to the Thomas and Friends website. Legal copyright information down at the bottom. And this is rated G. And this is 60 minutes long. Funny. A Thomas and Friends Hit Entertainment and Lionsgate DVD is rated G. It's kind of like Thomas and the Magic Railroad, if you ask me. Anyways, here's the actual case, which is the same. Anyways, here's the disc with the squished up image of the poster art. And I know some copies of this come in a blue case, but mine's in a black case, and I know Movie and Game Lover 98's copy comes with inserts, but mine doesn't come with inserts. Plus, I bought this used since 2020. Yeah, 2020, I meant to say, excuse me. And yes, I did fix this DVD with my disc repair machine, and it worked very good. Yeah, I did watch this DVD since probably last Thursday. Yeah, last Thursday. And yeah, this DVD played good. So, no matter what. And yes, my copy, along with Movie and Game Lover 98's, my copy, including Movie and Game Lover 98's, I gotta spit it out. Yeah, I know my copy does not come with the CD with the same songs from the movie, and neither does Movie and Game Lover 98. Both he and I don't have the CD inside, but that's okay. Anyways, and here's the song list that are included, which they are. The 5 sing-along songs are Thomas and James Are Racing, There's a job for everyone. Where, oh, where is Thomas? Engine roll call. The version from this one. And Thomas, you're the leader. Which plays during the end credits. So yeah. So anyways, let's get on with the plot of The Great Discovery. One day, on his way to the wharf, after Thomas avoids the collapsing bridge, he takes another route, and to his surprise, he discovers a long-lost town, which is Great Waterton, and the news spread all over Sodor, and, well, Sir Topham Hatt's engines and Miss Jenny's machines decided to restore Great Waterton for Sodor Day. And while Thomas is in charge of the engines working around Great Waterton, Sir Topham Hatt has brought another new tank engine that's either white or gray, probably white. Yeah, and his name is Stanley. Yeah, Sir Topham had brought Stanley to do Thomas's regular jobs, and all the engines, and the engines, yeah, and the steam team engines, like, Edward, Henry, Gordon, James, Percy, Toby, and Emily, they started to like Stanley more than Thomas, and that made Thomas very, very jealous. And then right after the incident happened at Great Waterton, Thomas decides to clear all these freight cars of rubble. And when he was about to get done, yeah, Thomas decides to clear all these freight cars full of rubble so he can have his old job back. But then after he accidentally bumped the last truck, he decides to go after to it, and this is when he starts to have an adventure. He went to the old mine to go after the rubble car. Yeah, that car full of rubble. But little does he know, he took the wrong track, which leads to the tunnel that's blocked, and he ends up floating in a flooded tunnel. And then Stanley and the other agents knew that Thomas is missing, and the news spread all over Sodor, and they need to find Thomas. But then after Thomas exits the mine, where it's flung across a canyon and down a hill. He whistled for help, and Stanley came to Thomas's rescue, and he pulled Thomas back on the tracks. But then after Stanley burst his boiler, it was now Thomas's turn to get him and Stanley back to work at Great Waterton, and then the news spread that Thomas is now found, and all the engines continue restoring Great Waterton, just like Miss Jenny's machines did, and yeah, and then they have a celebration to celebrate the well, yeah, and then after all the restoring is done, yeah, after the restoration is done, they all have a celebration of the opening of Great Waterton just in time for Sodor Day. And yeah, and that's how Thomas is. And yes, Stanley and Thomas are now good friends, no matter what. So, yeah. Anyways, that's the basic plot. So, what do I think of The Great Discovery? I gotta say, I really like The Great Discovery, because Pierce Brosnan did a great job narrating it, and, well, everybody everybody likes The Great Discovery, and so is Movie and Game Lover 98, and to be honest with you, I think I like this movie a little bit better than the Lost Treasure movie, because when I get to Sordor's Legend of the Lost Treasure, I'll explain out why I like this more than the Lost Treasure movie when I review Sordor's Legend of the Lost Treasure after I review all the Thomas and Friends releases on VHS and DVDs. So, but right now I am far behind. And yeah, this is in this movie. And yeah, and I like how everything is outstanding. Well, probably action packed. And yeah. And the songs are great. Like, Thomas and James are racing. There's a job for everyone. Where is Thomas? Which I like it a little bit better than the Where in the World is Thomas from Big World, Big Adventures, which I'll explain why I like Where is Thomas better than Where in the World is Thomas when I review Big World, Big Adventures another time. And yeah, and the engine roll call song, the version from this one, I think it's kind of better. And the song Thomas, You're the Leader, which I like this version better from this one, because the one in the CGI series, they cut some song portions out, like like Stanley, because Stanley doesn't come back till Misty Island Rescue. And Jack doesn't make a comeback until King of the Railway, Alfie, Excavator Oliver, Dump Truck Max and Monty. They don't come back till Lost Treasure, and probably the narrow gauge engines until Blue Mountain. Maybe the narrow gauge engines. They don't make a comeback till Blue Mountain Mystery. Because, well, Duncan doesn't make a comeback until season 18. And, yeah, if you watch the CGI version of the Thomas You're the Leader song, you'll know what I'm talking about. But this one from The Great Discovery is a lot better. And yeah. And yes, it introduces us to Stanley, a new tank engine, and I think this is the last time we get to see most of the characters in the movie, like, Madge herself, the truck, and Diesel 10 until Misty Island Rescue, Molly, Molly, Dennis the Diesel, and yeah, and of course, Ned, Kelly the vehicle crane, Buster the steamroller, and yeah. And yeah, And I think, yeah, yeah, those are the characters that I mentioned. Like Stanley's introduced, and this is the last time we get to see some of the characters. And yeah. And yes, I already mentioned, and yeah, and I think that's it. So, anyways, yeah, I recommend the Great Discovery movie. So, to any of you Thomas and Friends fans out there, if y'all haven't seen the Great Discovery, where have y'all been? Give this movie a watch, and you'll love it. Especially the special features and behind the scenes with Pierce Brosnan, and yeah, and if you like Pierce Brosnan, you might enjoy him narrating this movie. So yeah. So, anyways, yep, that's gonna be it for this DVD review on Thomas and Friends: The Great Discovery. I hope you guys like it, and I hope you guys like it, and enjoy it as well. And I'll see you all in the next upload. See y'all later, y'all. This is Jake Martin signing out.